$25 million. That's how much I've made online before AI even existed. Now I'm rebuilding everything from scratch with AI baked in the core of all my business. And in this episode, I'm going to be going over all of the streams of income that I have, the ones that I'm building, and all the tools that I use, both physical and digital. We're going over things like software and equipment. So without further ado, welcome to the first episode of Benji's AI Empire. I'm Benji, and on this channel we're going to be talking about all the ways that you can use AI in your business to make it run easier and make more money. But first, a little history about me. I'm 37 years old and I've done over $25 million online, primarily through e-commerce, dropshipping, building my own brands, and running ads for others. And I did all this before AI was even a thing. Now with the power of AI, it's even easier to build business, and there's virtually no reason that anyone can't do it. Before, you were limited by design constraints. Maybe you're not a designer and you don't know how to design. Now you don't have to worry about any of that with the power of AI. How are you going to start a product brand if you don't know how to design? That was the big thing that I used to get, and I don't get that anymore. Now this channel isn't going to just be about starting brands and making money online, doing drop shipping and your regular guru course. I have multiple streams of income and we're going to go over each and every one of them in this video. I'm going to walk you through every single revenue stream that I have and how I implement AI in each one. We're also going to go over all the equipment that I use. My computers, my cameras, the softwares that I use, and the subscription services that I use as well. Every single piece of equipment and software that I use to run my businesses is going to be covered in this video. Now, if you don't have time to watch this entire video, make sure you save it, hit that like button, subscribe, and come back to it because it's really jam-packed full of information. Let's get into it. Okay, let's talk about my first income stream, marketing clients. Marketing clients are the core income of my business, charging anywhere between $1,000 and $10,000 a month, depending on the client. Now, some of my clients actually pay for me to run ads for them, which I do alongside with my team, and some people just pay me for coaching, which I do all personally myself, so my coaching time is limited. We run Google ads, Facebook ads, and SEO, and we focus on both local businesses that provide services like plumbers and doctors and lawyers, and e-commerce businesses as well. Now, number two, and this is probably what I'm most famous for, is my website design agency where I cold call business owners and sell them websites for $500 after I offer it to them for free. You may have seen some of my cold calls on Instagram or Facebook or maybe even on TikTok. And if you click the link below, there is a playlist of actual live cold calls and you can listen to the entire ones for free right here on YouTube. So how does this website business actually work? We cold call business owners and offer them a free website. We design it within 24 hours and they only pay if they like it. Have about a 50% close rate on these. By the way, if you want a free website, I'll leave a link in the description below so that way you can fill out a form, check out what your website's going to look like, and then become a client if you'd like. No pressure. My second core offer is my white label print design service. If you need something printed like product packaging, I can get that done for you. I've launched over 2,000 physical products. That's packaging, branding, the whole 9 yards. Along with that came a bunch of marketing materials, yard signs, t-shirts, hats, shoes, you name it, we've printed it. Anything you can think of, even billboards. The next revenue stream is the actual printing. Not only do we make money off the design service, but whenever we outsource the printing, we outsource it to someone who drop ships those printed materials. So we're able to make a little bit of margin on the print supplies. The best thing is that after the design's done and the customer reorders again, it costs us virtually no time, so it's a pretty high profit margin. I'll leave a link in the description below for the two printers that I use, a Vistaprint and 4over. Now, I will say that while I love marketing other people's brands, helping them design their packaging and getting everything printed and seeing it come to life, I recently have really been missing having my own product brand. So I started a new product brand called Got Beef. It's a beef jerky brand and it is dropship. If you want to learn how to dropship beef jerky and snacks, let me know in the comments and I might make a video on that. The next business revenue stream that I have is AI lead generation, where I've created tons of websites with AI. These are in the legal niche. We are getting leads for lawyers, and when the lead comes into our website, we then sell that lead to the attorney. Some of the leads come in off of paid ads, other leads come in off SEO, but it does pay very well. And my last and final revenue stream are press features, getting featured in LA Weekly, Forbes, Times, the Wall Street Journal. We have access to over 1,200 publishers where we can get your brand featured. Not only will this increase your brand equity by allowing you to put these logos on the website, but it will also give you backlinks and help you show up in AI search results. Now that brings me to my other income streams that are totally automated. WhisperTalk, which is my AI voice dictation software that I use on my Windows computer while I am coding or while I am writing scripts or basically doing anything on my computer. I don't really like to type, so WhisperTalk is great. The best thing is it is only $50 for a lifetime subscription. Otherwise, you can sign up for WhisperFlow at $15 a month. I'll leave a link in the description for both of those. And I want somebody to compare the two of them and let me know what you think in the comments. The next software is my favorite software and the one that I think that has the most legs. It's called Cold Call Academy. And instead of AI calling your customers and them really not liking talking to an AI, what this does is it trains your sales agents how to talk to your customers better. This uses Grok's 420 model, and this is absolutely a game changer whenever it comes to the hiring process. I run ads on Craigslist a lot, and during the hiring process, I tell them that they need to make 10 calls against my AI to see how they do at cold calling and at listening. If they can follow directions, that's only half the battle, but they need to be decent on the phone. And my last software is Lead Ripper, which rips leads from this website and puts them into a dashboard. I sell a lifetime access to this for $999, so you can scrape Google as much as you want. Not only does it pull all the maps data, but it also goes to the website and looks for the email address with a 25% success rate. It also detects the platform that the website's built on, which can be handy if you're trying to target people that have a certain website platform like WordPress or Shopify or Wix or Weebly or GoDaddy or wherever the site is built. This works out really well with our cold calling service because people that have websites built on GoDaddy or Weebly or Wix usually are easier to convert than people that have sites built on WordPress or something custom. Okay, next let's go into my gear. All right, now let me walk you through all the gear that I use to run my business. We're going to start with computers because everything else plugs into one of these machines. I run 4 computers and they all live with me right here in Da Nang, Vietnam. The first one is this one here. This is my main desktop. And here's what's inside. It's an Intel Core i5-14600. It has 14 cores and 20 threads, which makes it great for scraping. Now, I do a lot of AI work. I like to run some models locally, so for that I have an NVIDIA RTX 5060 Ti. This graphics card has 16 gigs of VRAM, which is more than enough to generate high-quality images on Flux. Also inside, I have 64 gigs of RAM. I have 2 NVMe drives. One is 256 gigabytes, and the other one is 1 terabyte. I store all of my AI models on the 1 terabyte drive as well as some of my files, and I just keep the 256 really low usage for files that I'm editing at the time, and I move everything to that secondary NVMe drive. Now I do have some external SSDs. I have a 2 terabyte SanDisk SSD and a 1 terabyte SanDisk SSD for me whenever I have to transfer huge files to other places. Also, I'm not running Windows 11 because I absolutely hate it. I'm running Windows 10 on this machine. This machine does all the heavy lifting for me, all my video editing, scraping operations through Lead Ripper, and any AI image generation that I want to do throughout the night for the free websites that I've built during the day. I'm doing all the image generation on Comfy UI, and if you want me to make you a video on how to use Comfy UI, leave me a comment and I might make a video. Basically, if something needs power, it's going on this machine right here. My second computer is the Mac Mini, as there are some applications that I want to run on Mac, and I also build out applications where they run on Windows and on Mac, so I like to make sure that they work on Macs, so I have to have a Mac. The Mac that I'm running is the latest model of the Mac Mini series, and it has the M4 processor and 16 gigs of RAM. I also have this scraping 24/7, as it works as a little mini server, and it seems to be able to output my scraping workload double of what I used to get whenever I am just running this computer here. My third computer is the HP Victus laptop, and this is what I take with me whenever I travel outside of the country and I need power or I want to play games. And lastly, whenever I'm just going to coffee shops, I leave my Victus and obviously these other two computers here, and then I just pipe in through Chrome Remote Desktop or through Tailscale. This allows me to access all of my machines anytime I want from anywhere in the world. That's it for computers. Let's move on to the camera. So the camera I'm shooting on now is a Sony a7 IV, and I'm shooting on a 20mm lens. I also have the Sigma 2470 lens, and I use this a lot as well, usually whenever I'm shooting out in the big room, but whenever I'm in closed tight spaces, I like to use the 20mm lens that I'm using now. For audio, I have two DJI mics. These are kind of my go-to. I have the Shure mic right here for gaming, live streaming, whatever I'm doing, or screen sharing. This is my go-to mic. This thing sounds amazing. I would say that every person that is doing Zoom calls or any type of content needs to get one of these mics. Hands down the best mic I have ever owned. Now let's talk about lighting. I have two Godex bar lights. They look like this, and I also have this big light. I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera around. For storage and networking, I have a 16 terabyte NAS, which I plan on putting in 4 more 16 terabyte drives and putting it in a RAID configuration that will give me 48 terabytes of usable space. I also have the Elgato prompter for reading scripts, but I don't use it all the time. I really like to read off of a sheet just by looking down at the paper, looking back up at the camera, and saying what I need to say. It's actually what I'm doing right now. Obviously, I have a ring light and a few other peripherals, but that is pretty much it. Okay, let's talk about the software stack. This is all the software that I use to run my agency, and it's well over $10,000 a year. So let's get into everything that I'm using and see how I can maybe help you save some money on the software that you're already using now. Now, the first thing that everybody asks is, what are you using to make these websites? How are you making these applications? And I give that all up to Claude Code. I'm on the Pro Max plan, which is $200 a month. And if I ever run out of that, which sometimes I do cap out my usage during the week, I will switch to Kimi. Right now the version is Kimi 2.7, and I think that it's phenomenal for coding, and it's only going to get better. That runs me $100 a month. Now the next one is probably my biggest expense, but it's also my biggest money maker, and that is the Go High Level Agency subscription plan. So it's $500 a month, but it allows me to create as many sub accounts as I want for free with unlimited contacts and all the features. And I actually offer that to all the members of my community for only $10 a month. For $10, you can start cold calling, build funnels, have a sales pipeline, automate your social media, start your own community, and so much more. Literally, there's so much that you can do with Go High Level, and if you have any questions about Go High Level and the workflows or the automations or how it can help your business, make sure to leave me a comment and I might make a video on it. Now, for project management, everybody uses Notion or something like that. I just use Obsidian, which is basically like a glorified note-taking sheet. It integrates well with Claude Code, and it syncs across all my devices, so Claude will always be able to go into Obsidian, grab whatever information it needs, and start doing whatever tasks that it needs to do. For password management, I used to use LastPass, but I'm really a fan of 1Password. It's $50 for the year, and I don't know where I would be without it. For graphic design, it's Canva Pro. The ease of Canva Pro that I have found is absolutely phenomenal, and now it even plugs in to Claude Code and Claude regular desktop app, and it can make some of the best graphics that I've seen just by plugging the two together, and I'm able to ship things very fast using Canva. So if you're not signed up for Canva, I'll leave a link in the description below so that way you can get a discount. Now for email, I use Google Workspace, and I have one Google Workspace account. That's what I connect to any apps that require Google Workspace. For anything else, I am using regular SMTP mail, and I actually like it pretty well. As long as you set up all of your DKIM and SPF records, it seems to have pretty good deliverability, as long as you just don't start spamming from it from day one. Now, I know that I talked earlier about AI image generation and generating images on the 5060 Ti, but whenever I need to generate hundreds of images for a website and I just can't wait, I'm going to actually use ChatGPT's new Image Gen 2 model. It's one of the fastest, most beautiful photo generation models I have ever seen, and you can prompt Claude to read a website and it will generate perfect pictures. For generating ads, I love TryHollow. This is absolutely phenomenal for e-commerce brands, and I'll leave a link below to some of the pictures that I've generated with Hollow so that way you can check them out for yourself. Now, as an agency, I manage a lot of ad accounts, a lot of social media accounts, and in order to do that and not get banned, you need what's called a non-detect browser. And for right now, I'm using AdsPower. However, GoLogin just said that they did want me to make a video for them, so if I end up doing that, I'll probably be switching over to GoLogin for the foreseeable future. Now, for tracking all of my SEO projects, I'm going to tell you that Ahrefs is where it's at. I'm able to do lots of keyword research, track my status in the rankings, and plan things out. Definitely want to have Ahrefs if you're doing any sort of SEO. For dictation software, I used to use WhisperFlow, but I was so sick of paying that $15 a month and then ending up running out of credits mid-month, so I decided to vibe code my own. It's called WhisperTalk, and you can get it right now for only $50 for life, never have to pay again. Now, everybody's asking where I'm hosting my websites. For hosting, I use two different hosts. The first one is Netlify. This is for mission critical sites that have to be on all the time, and I don't want to worry about them. That are other people paying for them. That means my clients. My clients are paying me, and I want to make sure that they're never down. So all of their stuff is going to go on Netlify. But for myself, I host everything on Contabo on VPSs. This is my Claude bot or the Kimi bot that I have. Everything is hosted on a VPS through Contabo. I was using Hetzner, but I decided that I like Contabo's pricing better, and their user dashboard is a little bit easier to deal with. I'll leave a link below to both Hetzner and Contabo in case you want to check them out. For voice agents and voice cloning, I'm using 11 Labs, although I am messing around with one voice clone software, but I just don't think that it's there yet. So I'm not going to tell you what it is. I only like to recommend things that I actually know that you can use and get a good benefit from. But as soon as I find another voice cloning software out there, I'm definitely going to be recommending that. However, for AI agents that need to talk back and forth, I'm definitely either going to recommend 11 Labs or Grok 420, as I use both of those. For my payment stack, I used to use Stripe, but unfortunately I got banned. For what reason, I have no idea. I was just doing regular business. I canceled a $1 test transaction. They said that my account looked fishy, and they decided to shut me down. So I'm just using my native AirWallex integration that allows me to integrate to whatever apps and products that I am developing, and it also hooks right up to Shopify. For hiring, depending on what I'm hiring for, if it's customer service or I'm trying to find a developer, I'm using onlinejobs.ph or Upwork. If I'm trying to hire a sales guy, I'm going to be using Indeed, or I'm going to use LinkedIn, or even Craigslist seems to work very well. For internal team communication, we're using WhatsApp and WhatsApp groups, as well as Telegram, and I might change to Slack or Teams in the future. We'll have to see. And that about wraps up the software stack. If you want me to go deeper into any of these tools or how I use them, please leave me a comment in the description below. But this is everything that I have to run my agency right here from Da Nang, Vietnam. Guys, this has been Benji's AI Empire. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe because we got a lot coming to the channel. We're going to teach you a lot. And if you want access to all my scripts, some of the software, and that $10 a month Go High Level account, go ahead and join below in my Benji's AI Empire community so you can build your AI empire starting at only 10 bucks a month. This is not going to last forever. After I get 100 people inside of the community, the price will go up. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thanks so much for coming and watching.